Hello everyone, Turtleags here, bringing you a second Necrodragon video for today. The reason I'm filming this was because earlier this morning before I went to bed, myself as well as a couple people on Discord were cooking hard to see if we could find a way to make Mikola viable for this boss. And eventually, with enough attempts, we were able to cook up this really nice Shakir Mikola team that actually, from my playtesting, had a higher average score than the traditional Scarlita Marilee variant. And just as a reminder, for the Scarlita Marilee variant, it was this team formation right here, where you had the main Fresto in front of the Scarlita. And you know, we ended up cooking, and you can check out my previous video for replays of both the old team as well as the new team. This Shakir and Mikola, that worked quite well. We ended up having pretty much all 5 heroes survive until the very end, unlike the Scarlita Marilee variant where your team was like mostly dead towards the end. And this was taking advantage of Shakir's Lupine aura in order to provide some haste as well as damage mitigation for your party, which helped with survivability and thus a higher score. However, while I was asleep, the people in Analytica cooked up a little bit more and came up with an even more refined team where instead of Shakir, get this, you end up running Smokey, which is wild because, you know, if you were to tell me, you know, a month ago that eventually the Necrodragon team wasn't going to run any mobile heroes, I would not believe you. Because if you remember, the Necrodragon team of the past ran primarily mobile units with the exception of Rainier, you know, Tamesia, Corrin, Marilee, etc. But as you can see here, the only mobile unit technically is Lily May, and she's the main damage dealer. And what's so cool about this team is that it has a good combination of survivability as well as offensive buffs. And Smokey, as many of you know, is a DPS in his own right. So, you know, you'll see that he ends up putting up good numbers, almost 7 build points. And then Fresto has, you know, with the right charm set, you know, ends up, you know, scoring over 11 bill. And then Mikola and Rainier, they're there to provide, you know, some offensive utility in the form of increased damage taken by the enemy in the case of Rainier, or, you know, an attack boost as well as haste boost for people taking advantage of the arena. So anyways, I'll go ahead and show you the replay, and I'll keep talking as, you know, explaining how this team works. So you'll notice that the main Fresto was you know, forming a bond with the Smokey behind. And I think the reason for that is because, yes, you still have Rainier dynamic balancing Smokey to provide some damage mitigation for Smokey, but Rainier's dynamic balance also boosts the haste of Smokey in order for his heals to be a little bit more bursty. And of course, the main Fresto providing the energy generation boost for Smokey will allow him to ult more frequently and keep everyone nice and topped up. And one thing I did notice too was, you know, speaking on the magic charms, you know, Fresto, he ends up rocking offensive magic charms that provide attack and crit and attack speed for him. And then Mikola, actually, I now know after studying the different comps that the optimal magic charm set for Mikola is actually the same one that Lily May holds, the one with the magenta and the harp that boosts attack percent and skill power. And as you can see here, you know, everyone is nice and healthy. You know, we are at the 45 build mark. We are already approaching a score that is the highest score for the Shakir Mikola comp as well as the Scarlita Marilee comp. And everyone's still alive. But what is going to happen right now is Necrodragon's going to kill both Mikola and Rainier. Yes, and the reason is because, you know, every time you hit a new damage bracket, right, Necrodragon hits even harder and more frequently. And if memory serves me right, I think he also becomes harder to kill as well. But what matters here is that you still have the primary damage dealers, Lily May and Fresto, putting in good work. And they are actually really healthy thanks to Smokey, which we didn't have back with, you know, Scarlita Marilee, or with, heck, even Shakir and Mikola, because, you know, Shakir doesn't heal and Scarlita doesn't heal once she's on the ground. So anyways, as you can see here, just showing you the magic charm set. This is the optimal magic charm set for Lily May. That's what I run as well. She ends up scoring almost 30 build points. Now Lily May in this team actually does even more damage than the previous two iterations. Typically Lily May will score between 27 build to 28.5 build points, but in this team she ends up scoring almost 30 build. Fresto, one thing I noticed is that Fresto with Mikola and Fresto without Mikola is almost night and day, because as you can see here, Fresto scores 11 build points, and if memory serves me right, I think on the Scarlita Marilee variant, Fresto is only doing like 7 build points. Well, let me double check actually, I don't want to lie to you guys. Oh, not even 7 build, 5 build points. Yeah, so you notice the difference here. Without Mikola, Fresto ends up being a shadow of himself. Heck, Lily May doesn't even score that high either. Although, okay, she's not EX20, but EX15 is the bulk of her damage there. Yeah, so anyways, very cool to see people continuing to cook up new Necrodragon teams, more than 12 hours after the the server or the daily reset. So anyways, guys, I hope this video was informative. I think it's important to catalog, the evolution of teams for every single boss. That way we have as many optimal quote-unquote teams to try out, no matter if you have the entire crew, or if you are missing certain heroes like Mikola, like Lily May, like Shakir, heck, even like Scarlita. You will always, if you look through my videos, you will find an optimal team that works with your roster. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.